I've tried to create a broad recipe of how to do this.
It's too dependent on different variables.
And not only that, there's so much luck. There's so much luck involved in this. And it really is. I think people underestimate how much luck is involved in business. You can have everything perfect and you can still screw it up with just one simple mistake. And so, I realized as I was going through this as an individual, I kept making stupid mistakes. And I kept doing things where I'm like, man, if only I had a team of smart people, they could have prevented me from doing that stupid mistake. And, I'm not perfect. I've got flaws like everybody. And I think that's a really important key to business is understanding what your flaws are and surrounding yourself with people to help mitigate that risk. Because I joke with Hometown Hero, I would have put this company out of business a dozen times over already. Like by myself, done. We'd be out of business.
Yeah.
No question. But, by surrounding yourself with people that care and understand their strengths and your weaknesses as well. And that's the thing is so many people are scared of sharing their weaknesses, right? Like, why would you share that? It's so other people can cover your ass. And what does Keith Cunningham say is, you should always have somebody in your life that has permission to tell you your breath smells like shit.
I like that.
And so I really encourage the team of people that we work with, and they know they've got permission to do this, and they don't need my permission, but they know they're there to do this. Is if I'm doing something stupid, call me out on it, right? And that's been really the key of this company versus all the others, because a lot of times I try to do it individually or with a small team that maybe didn't have the experience or the drive, and or just not enough luck. A lot of times it's just not enough luck. And what's luck? It's when opportunity meets preparation.
That's when you get number 10.
Yep. And odds. Odds tend to work in your favor. Although technically you could probably say it's like a coin flip. It could be heads or tails, and the odds may not have played a part in it, but I'll still always claim my number 10 was a win because the other 9 were failures. So, I've played in a whole bunch of different spaces. I was in Bitcoin prior to Hometown Hero. I had worked at one point I was president of the largest Bitcoin mining company in the world. Probably lost more Bitcoins on Mt. Gox than I would ever care to admit. And if you're familiar with Bitcoin, you'll know what I'm talking about. So yeah, coming out of the Bitcoin world, that was such a wild world back in the day. I came to Austin. I was working for a company. I wasn't thrilled. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go work for a Bitcoin company. So I quit my job. Didn't even have another job lined up. And just being crazy and said, all right, I'm going to go do this. And I'm a big fan of, and you and I were talking about, right? How do you want to pursue things within your life? Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of burning bridges in the sense of, not in the sense of relationships, but burning bridges in the sense of you don't have the ability to go back and this has to succeed and there's no other option.
I totally understand what you're saying when it comes to that, because then if you don't totally burn those things, then you might find yourself in a place where you're just continuing in that place and not being happy.
If you've got a solid plan B, your plan A is probably not going to succeed. And I love going into things without a fallback. And it seems stupid and it seems sort of, whatever you want to call it, but I love being forced into something full bore. Right? This has to succeed. There is no other option. And that's really what Hometown Hero was to me. There was no other option. And this was either a succeed or I was potentially going to be homeless. And that was terrifying. It's one of the scariest times of my life. But in that same breath, it worked because I didn't have a choice. And I don't know if this company would be what it is or if it would have worked the way it did if I had a day job, right? If I had something else going on where I'm like, I don't know. We'll see how this works. I didn't have a choice. I had to go out. I mean, I drove for the first probably 2 years of the company. I drove all over the state meeting with store owners. I've probably met more store owners of head shops, vapor stores in Texas than probably anybody on the planet. And I know a lot of the owners by name, by face, and, they contact me all the time and say what's going on and blah, blah, blah. And we're still friends. But, I was just put in a position where I didn't have a choice. And thankfully, we had clients and customers and friends that saw what we were doing and loved what we were doing and wanted to sell the products in their store and allowed me not to be homeless. Otherwise, be a very different conversation.
Well, damn, man. It's been great talking to you, Lukas, and I really appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else you want to say before we close out here?
Yeah. For any of you that are looking at going down the path of running your own company, of doing your own thing, I always try and encourage people not to, because it's a different life. It's a different animal. It is stressful beyond belief, and you'll probably cry yourself to sleep many nights. But that being said, if you are the right person to do it, you'll ignore what I say and you'll do it anyways.
That's true.
And that's what I found is I really try to discourage people from starting their own companies and from going down that path. But the ones that, and I do this for a reason, because the ones that will most likely be successful are the ones that are going to ignore me and do it anyways.